What's going on, everybody? I'm Enoch. This is my brother James, and you are now watching the Blood Brothers podcast. Let's go. Welcome back to the Blood Brothers podcast. You know how we like to do it before we get going. Our Father in heaven, we thank you for this day. We thank you for this opportunity. Use us right now. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Brother, man, what's good?
You know our mission. Stay the same, stay consistent. We don't change up.
Uh-huh.
Empowering men to become leaders in society under God's law. Consequently, children, women, and other men will understand the foundations of what it means to be a real man. Shouts out to God.
Talking that talk.
We do that.
So, we in this relationship series, man.
True, I like that.
This episode right here. Last week we talked about friendships. Today we gonna dig into dating.
Dating.
This should be very interesting. This should be
dating.
Let me give a disclosure.
Disclaimer.
Disclaimer, all of the above. Don't take anything that we say in this episode. I don't want to say don't take it personal, because certain things you need to take personal so that you grow, right?
Okay.
I don't want you to take it as offense.
Don't be offended.
Don't be offended, because we're going to hit some real things that we see are issues in dating that needs to be said that we don't hear often.
That's true. And on top of that, remember, we're very covenant driven. So the things that we speak about will always be in a perspective of we want you guys to be married, have families, and have a healthy, successful, loving marriage, and not just stuck, if that's the best way to put it. But all right.
So speaking from that, talking into marriage, so I guess we could start off with talking about what is the purpose of dating.
Okay, that's dope. I like that.
You want to start it off, or you want me to start it off?
I'll start it. I mean, for me, I think dating had a different meaning when I was young compared to now.
Most definitely. Right? Most definitely.
Because, I mean, I was always raised, and I was like, nah, I'm not spending no money. I'm not going out. And I'm going to be honest. And this is going to sound kind of harsh, but
I can tell it's going to be a funny podcast.
That held true until I married my wife. Like, she got unlimited access to the bread.
Yeah.
Anybody before her, sipping my coffee.
Oh, that's what you was on?
I just wasn't in the spending on events and taking women out, and that just wasn't my thing, you know. And it wasn't a knock versus the individual. So if you're
would you contribute that to maturity?
I would contribute that to the fact that I had a son. Okay. And any money that I spent that wasn't towards him or bettering our situation, or in that case, I felt guilty. So nothing overrid that. So like I said, it wasn't personal against the young lady. So I hope if you're watching, you know, it was never personal. That was just something I would not break. I was in a different space, and because I had Cam Young, you know, paper was tight. So I'm like, if I'm gonna spend paper, it's gotta be on my young. I'm not on that type of time where I'm gonna be out here blowing money fast. That's not my thing, you know. But you talk to me. What you got for that?
So I have two views on dating. Okay. Now, it's gonna be semi-age based, but within that age based is still a maturity factor.
Okay.
So this is how I look at it. Between the ages of high school, 21, 22, I understand if you're dating without a real end game. Gotcha. I get it, because you're still learning who you are and who you want to be with, right?
Gotcha. And you saying from 16 to about 22, you said?
Yeah.
So, okay. High school throughout college.
22 area.
I got you.
Yeah. So at those stages, I get it if you guys aren't on the same page. But there still should be some foundation to what our plans are.
You talking about that age?
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh-huh. At that age, you should still have some structure. Like, okay, what are we doing here? Are we dating for a long-term relationship, or are we just trying to figure it out? Right?
Okay.
I'm not going to talk too much about that because I'm going to speak to the more older, mature people, because this is where I feel like the most problem comes from.
Okay, so let's get to an age bracket. You're saying 20...
I'm going to say from 24, 25.
Got you.
Dating in that area.
Okay, I got you. Go ahead.
Okay, so when you're dating in the areas of 24 and up, you need to establish in the beginning what the foundation of the relationship is. You need to have a goal of what. Remember how we talked about the beginning, the first day of the series, foundation. How do we plan on starting this relationship, and where do we want to go?
Okay.
Now, if you're over 25, you might feel differently. If you're over 25 and you've been dating past 3 years, and there is no end game of marriage or anything in that area, you're honestly wasting your time. What are you dating for? If you're just dating to have sex, what comes out of that?
I got one for you before you keep going, right? So would an end game be considered if they have a child together? Is that an end game?
Is that an end game?
Like, meaning if a child comes out of that situation, is that a declaration towards the end game?
I wouldn't say that's a declaration towards the end game, because there's still no solid foundation there. Because just because you have a child, just because you have a child doesn't mean there's a solid foundation.
No, I agree 100%. 100%.
Yeah, so it's like establishing in the beginning. That's why it's very important for women. Don't lower your standards just because you see a guy that you're very attracted to. And that goes into now I'm allowing him to have sex and treating him like we are married. And that's where that issue comes, where the guy's like, well, you giving me everything that I want, so why do I need to marry you? So when you have that mindset, that's why coming in off the rip is like, because you know how they say when you start dating, you shouldn't automatically talk about, oh, you're looking for marriage. I don't agree with that.
Yeah, but that must be a stereotype.
I don't agree with that. They say, oh, in the beginning, you should be like, oh, we're just trying to see where this goes. That's why I said that's for the younger generation. If you're 25 and older, there's no, oh, we just want to see where this goes.
I feel you.
You should have your mindset on, okay, I want to be married. This is what I'm looking for. And if you can't live up to those standards, cool, do your thing. No beef.
I agree. I mean, one thing I will say too is that I think we even have to even narrow it down even more, right? And explain. I mean, obviously we're gonna go into it next week, but you cannot. The end game can't be a house and kids without a ring. That's just not acceptable, right?
Yeah.
And I say this as a man who has experienced that process, right? The only thing that is the most efficient and accurate end goal is to be under covenant, to be married. You cannot say that we're playing house, right? There's no such thing, right? And when it comes down to dating specifically, the problem is that, especially with men, right? This is the thing. Women come equipped with everything you need. Right. Let's be honest. When God made a woman, He formed her. He created. He designed her. He knew exactly what He was doing. Man, it's just guys. You know what I'm saying? That's just guys.
We just here.
Right. So when a man pursues a woman, right, you have to have an agenda that complements the woman that you're pursuing. Case in point, I won't go after, or when I was younger, you know, it wasn't so much of dating with a purpose. It was,
exactly.
I'm just trying to get busy and we'll figure out the rest later, right?
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
So at a certain point, that didn't hold true to me anymore. And I lived that lifestyle ignorantly, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I
Yeah.
might have known better in my own way, but at the same time, I should have acted on what I've known, what I really knew, instead of what my culture was promoting and that type of mentality.
Yeah.
So when I look at people who are dating, I'm like, look, you guys can build with one another, you can learn one another, and all of that is healthy, right? But if you're just freely running around, right, just with no purpose,
Yeah.
I mean, me personally, I think you should just save your money, save your time, and just wait till you have the mind frame where you even know
Exactly.
what you want,
Exactly.
right?
Exactly.
Because how can I come to a woman, right? How can I introduce myself? Hey, what's up? You know, I'm telling you this, I'm telling you that, I'm telling you what you want to hear, but
Yeah.
silently, that's not really my agenda,
Mm-hmm.
right? So for women, you have to consider not only what they say, but the actions behind it. And it goes back to
Yeah.
what you're saying. And not, I'm not talking about one action, because remember, anybody could buy some roses one time, right? Anybody could do something one time. What are their patterns, right?
Yeah.
It becomes a thing where if you study the person's patterns, you'll know if you'll be compatible, right? Realistically.
Yeah.
So when I think of the foundation, it's more of understanding your worth and not bending, like you said, to according to whatever, you know what I'm saying, whatever it
Yeah.
is that the man wants.
And I think that's why you see those relationships, those 15-year relationships where one person wants marriage and the other person doesn't. They never established that in the beginning. And that's why we're 15 years down the line and now we're like, well, I want to get married, but you like, well, I mean, we'll see what happens. We 15 years down the line and now we'll see what happens. You never established from the beginning. And that's not just man or woman, either or. There could be a man that want to be married but never established that in the beginning. There could be a woman that wants to be married but never established that in the beginning. So when you're down that line, now it's like, what do we have to fall back on? How did this relationship start? Like me and your relationship started with weights. So we're constantly building each other.
Yeah.
If another relationship started where you're giving me everything a spouse would give me, why do I need to be married to you?
That's true. I mean, I hate to say it like this, but women set the foundation and set the standards in this aspect of it.
Yeah,
right?
this might be one of the core.
Yeah, you guys have the control, and you guys or ladies have the know-how and the right to set your standards and not move. Right.
Yeah.
I mean, realistically, if the women came together, right, and said, "Hey, all single women, these are our standards. If they don't meet them, kick them to the curb."
Yeah. Yeah.
Men would rise to the occasion.
Yeah, we have no choice.
We go for what we want. Like this whole thing of, oh, don't tell in the beginning, don't say, whatever about marriage, which is true.
Yeah.
I hear people say it all the time.
Yeah.
But I'll take me, for example. When I met my wife,
yeah,
I already
we gonna get into that.
off the rip. I wasn't playing. Like, nah, look. From the year, it's crazy. We have a picture from the year that I said it. Within that year, we was married, right? Literally within that year. So it was a New Year's, I think 2016.
Yeah.
2017, we was married.
Talk about how you was able to have that mentality when you met your girlfriend at the time, when you met her at the time. Okay. To be able to have that mindset, like, I'm not coming in this to just play around.
Right. I get you. So for me, I used dating as, and I don't even want to call it dating. I elevated my thoughts to the point of saying, I want to be consistent. So anybody I've dealt with before my wife, that person, I was kind of preparing for marriage. Yeah. I was testing myself with that relationship. So I wanted to practice good habits. Yeah. So that way, when I did meet my wife, I'm like, man, this is light. This is easy.
Good habits. Starting off with good habits.
So what I ultimately did even before that was I practiced abstinence, right? I waited. I disciplined my body enough where sex wasn't the driving force for me wanting to be around a female. So once I did that, automatically I became empowered within myself.
Yeah.
Right. And one thing I'll say about women, they know a strong man when they see them. They can feel it, right? It's a certain aura that what I'll call a lion compared to a cub. I always use the Simba, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'll use the levels where it's like, you know, you have Simba in the elephant's graveyard. Then you have Simba in the jungle. Then you got Simba on Pride Rock.
Exactly.
Right? A woman can always feel, and they could actually see it. Their sixth sense is crazy when you're Simba on Pride Rock. Right? Yeah. They know it. They respect it. And I think guys, they don't hold themselves to that standard. And because of that, now you have a situation where women are like, well, what am I supposed to do? All of these guys are the same, which is not necessarily true, but I feel their burden.
Where that comes from.
I do feel their burden. So I think it was just practicing the habits before I got into the game. Because once I got in the game, I wanted to perform at my highest level.
Exactly. So you was purposeful within dating.
Facts.
And I think that's probably one of the biggest things, because this is why we say in the beginning, the first episode was you need to be working on yourself for any relationship to be prosperous.
True.
If you're not constantly working on yourself within the dating, if you're not working on yourself, you're going to have problems with whoever you're dealing with and not know why, because you internally, you don't know what you're dealing with. So with me, when I started dating my wife, automatically, right before her, I was in a situation. But when I met her, I knew, okay, this is different. I gotta make sure I'm doing what I need to be doing with this one. So, like you said, the practice. I started putting into practice so that I was ready for marriage.
Gotcha.
A lot of people date thinking when I get married, everything is gonna change. I'll be good. It don't work like that.
That's true.
You gotta put in the work, the practice. Well, some people might take offense to this. If you're dating, you're technically single.
If
you're dating, you're technically single because you're putting into practice. Because dating, ultimately, you're supposed to be getting to marriage. What else the point of dating if I'm not ready to commit myself to you? That should be the end goal of dating. I want to fully commit myself to you. So now, when you're dating, in the process of committing to you, there's some things that I have to make sure that I work out so that it doesn't come into my marriage.
Gotcha.
So let me give you an example. I'm a very friendly person. So that might come off very flirty if I'm talking to other women.
Okay.
So this is one thing I started doing. And my wife didn't understand it at first. We would go out on dates. We would go out to eat.
Yeah.
We would have a waiter come. It would be a woman. And I would not talk to the waiter. I wouldn't look at the waiter.
Yeah.
I would sit my head down. They ask me what I want. Tell her I want water.
Yeah.
Or if I have to order, I tell her I want this, blah, blah. Gave her no attention at all.
Yeah.
Some people might say that's OD. That's extreme.
Is it?
Yeah, for you. But I'm trying to make sure I cut off any flirtatious thing that might come off to any other woman. So I was nipping that in the bud when we started dating. Like, okay, I know I'm very friendly and I have like kind of a flirtatious personality. Let me lock this down now so that it becomes second nature to where I can't even tell if somebody's even flirting back with me. So it came to the point where now I'm like, okay, I'm coming to this area. I can have okay, how you doing? I can have a conversation and knowing like I'm good. So now it came to the point where my wife would say, you had no idea. I'm like, what are you talking about? She was like, that woman was definitely flirting with you. I was like, what? She was like, yeah. I was like, wow. I'm just so blind to it now. It doesn't even get my attention.
I
So
get
that was
you.
one of the things that I took. And there was a lot of other things that I took. Like, I was talking to other women when I met my wife. So I was like, you know what? I need to slowly start cutting off these women. I'm not going to say I was able to do it cold turkey.
Yeah.
But I gradually like, yo, my mindset, I got to start cutting off all these other women that I'm talking to. And those are tangible things that lead you to marriage. And that's why I was able to be married within a year of dating her.
Nah, I think practicing those good habits, right? And let's touch a little bit more on the fact that when you're really girlfriend and boyfriend, technically you're single.
Yeah.
Right. That's not that's really the truth. Realistic relationships, you're either single or you're friends with benefits.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, if you're having sex or whatever the case may be, even if you have a kid, it's just the benefit. It's not a covenant. Right. So what happens is people play covenant.
Yeah.
Right. They'll
that's
play.
A good one. That's a good one.
They'll play the covenant role, and you're not in covenant. So it's not real. It's like Instagram. It's only highlights, right? It's not realistic. I mean, that's the truth. Like people want the benefits of covenant.
Yes.
But don't want to take the step to obtain covenant, right?
100%.
And because of that, and because both parties, mainly women, they accept this, right? They accept this. Yeah, they'll hear a guy, and I hear women say it all the time. Oh, I'm giving him till this time. Oh, I'm giving him to this time. And it's like, look, first of all, the minute you have to say I'm giving him till this time, you should have left.
Say that again.
Nah, it's the truth. I'm giving him till this time means that you should have left, right? Because the minute I have to put a quota on my standards, of things that I need, or things that you should need, things that we should be striving for together, I have to get up out of here. You're not it. You're not it. And the fact that is, I always look at it like this too. We willingly married our wives.
Exactly.
Right? When you go, I'm putting a time frame on it, or I'm taking this approach. Like, if you don't do it by this time, this is gonna happen. Like, you gotta put an ultimatum. That man he's not ready.
Yeah.
He's not ready. And what's going to happen is it's a forceful engagement, which will be a terrible foundation to set a marriage on. So when you're looking at the dating aspect of it, you have to hold your standards true to your expectations. You can't skip. It's almost like through the process, right? And in the evolution of, mainly, I'm going to say women in this aspect.
Okay.
You have to understand your end goal as the woman.
Yeah.
Right. And the reason why I'm big on, mastering yourself, right, is because what'll happen is, if you master yourself, the same way men have that sense, same way women have that sense for men, guys also have that sense.
Yeah.
I knew my wife wasn't one of those people I could cheat on.
I knew that.
I knew that.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
I knew that. And let me tell you, I knew that before I even took her as serious as I did. I felt it. I'm like, yo, I think if I mess this up, I think if I'm messing with another girl,
I
think she'll actually go, right?
Yeah.
So I think she'll actually leave me. Can I see myself without? And this is what, 2-3 weeks in. Granted, we had a history as friends, right? Not as nothing more than that, but at the end of the day, in my mind, I knew, like, yo, her standards a little different. I can't really play around with this female, right? So if it's not saying that you have to be the woman that is saying, you're gonna do what I say. If y'all not ready for this, and get out, I don't need him in. That's not what we're saying. What we're saying is, let your standards hold true in your actions. So if you want to be married, right, but you want a healthy marriage, I get the concept of people go, you want to know your partner physically, right? I get it. No, I really do get it. I get it. It's like, you don't, what if you're working with something that, it ain't tangible for the needs, right? Like, just to give you the buck. Like, some people fall short in certain areas. So you want to know what's up, like, right? I keep it a buck. Like, but at the same time, you don't necessarily have to cross those boundaries of entrance. right? Like I call it dating and waiting, right?
Yeah.
Like I can take you serious without pursuing the sex part of it. That can come, right? If you wanna know what the person is dealing with, I mean, you got hands, but you don't need to go past that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because your hands say a lot. I mean, realistically, it'll tell you what's up. It'll tell you what's up. Like, I bet this is worth waiting for. You feel me?
That's a fact.
Or let me get up out of here, because if I attach myself to this, this is gonna be a bad experience every time.
Yeah, that's what happened to me.
Yeah, it's not like, think about it. You and Kayla waited till y'all got married.
Yeah.
Right? But I'm pretty sure along the way you you experience certain things with her where you like, nah, this is definitely worth waiting for, boy. I'm telling you, right?
That's a fact.
And I'm sure it's vice versa for her. So the waiting and dating concept actually stems from it stems from what's the best way to put it? It stems from self-empowerment. Right? And one accord, one agenda.
Yeah.
We're not gonna play house, right? I'm not gonna play covenant. I'm not gonna give myself to somebody that isn't willing to give themselves to me permanently.
Exactly.
Right? It's the permanent mindset that you want when you're approaching the dating philosophy. Because that's all it is. It's a philosophy. It's a mentality that you're taking on while you're with another party. The problem is that culture drives, or whatever it is that you're learning from your childhood, that's what drives your mentality. So if you never had a person say, hey, listen, honey, I think you should save even if you had sex, I think you should just wait.
Yeah.
If you, all right, this is a good one too. If you already experienced sex, you know what it's like, you know all of that, right? I mean, there's, you get the gist of it, right?
Yeah.
So there's no need to keep repeating the same cycle with different men, and vice versa for women. I mean, for men and women. Like, you get what the agenda is. Like, you know what the process is. Now, what's wrong with saying, all right, look, I already been through this process. I've been in and out. It didn't work. I'm trying to elevate. So before we take it there, why don't we just make sure this is going to be a permanent thing? And then that memory will mean that much more compared to, whatever. And I'm not going to front. I'm not going to be a hypocrite in this situation. Like, me personally, I didn't wait with my wife, right? I didn't. I didn't. And I'm not saying I regret it, but I definitely wish that I would have waited that time slot.
Yeah.
Because that moment would have meant more in the sense of like, yo, we did it together type feel. Right? And that means something. But at the same time, that's not an excuse for you to be dating somebody and going to get some cheeks somewhere else.
Exactly.
You're holding on to it together. Which means something, like you're building something together. But
that goes back to the dating, and you're really single. You have to practice that commitment. You have to be able to practice that commitment so that when you're married, that doesn't become an issue. You know what the crazy thing is? I didn't realize that when you're dating, you're really single until I got married. And then like a year go by, it was like, we stopped worrying about our dating anniversary. It was only about the wedding anniversary.
Oh, no.
It was like,
I'm sorry. Hold on. Repeat that. Your what? What is it called?
I don't even know what you call it. Girlfriend anniversary?
You talking about your girlfriend and boyfriend anniversary?
Yeah.
That's a thing? That like,
bro, you know it was a thing, but it stops becoming a thing when you get married. You be like, hey, like, we don't even, it's about the wedding. Like, even this year, like, I think May 30th when we started dating, maybe 6 years ago, we was chilling, and then it was like, yo, what's today's day? I gotta go 30th. It was like, wait, what's the, it was like, oh, wasn't that when we started? Was that when we started dating? Oh, it is. But our wedding anniversary, we know off top.
Yeah.
Because it's like, that ain't really important anymore. So when you got people that say, yo, I've been with my girl 15 years, man, I already know what it is. Nah, it's a different life when you're married, bro. It's a different commitment.
All right, so let me ask you this. When you see people go, I've been with you 5 years.
Yeah.
6 years, 10 years. You've been holding it down.
Yeah.
Right? What do you think about that?
I feel like the okay. I'm gonna say it like this. I'm gonna give because I get it. Some people need to wait. I'm gonna give you a max 3 to 5 years.
5?
That's extensive.
Oof.
That's extensive.
All right.
I'm gonna give you that because
this is after 25 though, correct?
yes, after 25.
Okay.
So 3 to 5, the person you're dating. After 25. So now you're looking in the 30 range. If after that you still don't know if you want to marry this person, you need to leave.
Regardless if you have a child or not.
You need to leave. Because if you don't know by now that I want to spend the rest of my life with you, there's a problem. There's a serious problem. And now I feel like that could, well, especially if one person wants to get married and the other person, I'm talking to y'all like I'm talking to my daughter. If you're my daughter and you're with a man for 5 years and he doesn't want to marry you, I'm going to tell you need to leave. Because what he don't know by now, he's 30 years old. He doesn't know if he wants to spend the rest of his life with you. So you're with a little boy. Because by now you should know.
Relax, my boy.
No. Now I'm getting emotional. I'm thinking like it's my daughter. Like,
yo. Oh, nah.
Nah, bro. Nah, for real. And like that's why I always tell dudes, like, bro, you need to get married. Like, if I guarantee you, you go to any dude that does not have a child and he's with a girl for 5+ years, and you say, yo, bro, step outside of your relationship. If that was your daughter, would you have a problem with that? 95% of men would be like, yeah, nah, you need to leave. You my daughter, you need to leave. So why do you not take that into consideration with your girlfriend? You're 5+ years in, and still like, I don't know. You don't know after 5 years? If I was able to know after 1 year, and I'm not the only one.
Facts.
I'm not the only one. There's something you're not working on yourself because you don't know what you want. So you need to go back to you now.
Hold on, I got one for you. No, they are working on themselves, and they actually do know what they want. Take this into consideration. Ladies, they don't want you. Right? Let's study his habits. They don't want you. You're not his wife. And as hard as that is to accept, throughout the years, that's just the truth. That's just the truth. Like, at the end of the day, I understand your perspective with gentlemen, right? And saying what they say. But truth of the matter is, women have to get the hint too.
That's true. That's true.
He doesn't want you.
That's true.
Right? Yeah. So when do you?
He wants what you bring. He wants all the things you bring.
Yeah, he wants the
That's
goodies.
why he's still there.
Exactly. He wants the goodies, and you're giving it up.
Yeah.
You know, happily or not happily, and fronting like you're happy.
Yeah.
Whichever one you want to call it, right? But when I consider both parties, women, would you tell your daughter to stay in that relationship? Right? You one day you're gonna be a parent, hopefully, God willing, right? Are you gonna tell your daughter, hey, listen, give a man everything he wants, let him do what he wants, let him have low standards for you, lower your agenda, lower your standards to reach him at the bottom, to appease him, right? And do me a favor, honey, just stick it through. Is that what you're gonna tell your daughter? Realistically, absolutely not. You're not.
Why would you want a man to marry you when he's like, well, been with you long enough, might as well get married now? It's like,
boy, what?
Bro,
stop.
Is that really commitment?
Stop.
Because now it's just like, oh, I might as well. I'm here. But if in the early stage, if you can do it between 1 year and 5 years, I feel like that's real.
That's facts.
Because you're consciously making that decision.
No, that's true.
You're constantly making that decision because whatever. But yeah, I'm just
you're consciously
you know what I mean?
Making that choice to say, we're dating.
Exactly.
And I'm serious about you.
I'm serious about you. I'm ready to make that real commitment.
So here you go. 5 years of dating. That's all it is.
Yeah.
10 years of dating. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Y'all are not really committed to one another.
No. It's a form of commitment.
It's a form, and it's a very watered down,
lackluster,
hybrid, lackluster form of commitment. And I'm gonna tell you why. True commitment, you cannot get out of. Right?
And you don't even want to get out of.
You don't even want to get out of it, right? Yeah. When you're girlfriend and boyfriend, what does that mean? That means I can always leave.
Yeah. Without no repercussions, no nothing. It's just a clean, all right, I'm out.
I'm out of here. I'm not in it for the long haul. And you go, well, we lasted this long this way. Y'all lasted this long this way because one of you didn't step up to the plate. And truth of the matter is, as much as, and this is one of those things where as much as I dislike when men prolong the process, I can't help but to look at women and go, what are you thinking about? Like, really, what are you, it makes me question, what are your standards for yourself? Right? What are you willing to accept? Because why would you accept a man who's willing to date you without a commitment? We're not talking about getting married and dating, because that's a whole nother subject. But we're talking about you're not married. And you're just allowing him to basically do what he wants.
And not even be able to have that conversation. Because when that conversation comes like, nah, I ain't ready. Like, yo, when it happens, it happens. No, you got to plan for that. It ain't happen. If it happens, it happens. You got to plan for that. It's not just,
we do.
No, you got to plan.
Nah, that's a fact. So it's sad to say, and it's definitely, it's upsetting because I never want to see people's feelings get hurt. Right? But are your feelings worth the lowering your standards? That's the best way to say it, right? I would much rather you walk away hurt, knowing that you had integrity, knowing that you had self-worth, and the next round, do it right.
You learn from it.
You learn from it, correct. So, this whole dating and waiting.
That's why the early days don't despise any of my exes, because I learned from them.
No, I dig it. Me, I'm gonna be honest. My early days when it came to dating, I wasn't really, this is gonna sound bad, but I wasn't serious enough. I learned from them, but I wasn't really serious enough to make a change. Like I didn't change because of any of my exes. I'm gonna be honest. I changed because Cam. It was different for me. Like I didn't learn. I didn't learn from my mistakes with my exes. I didn't. I learned because my son was paying the price for my decisions. That was different. So I didn't, and this is not a knock, disclaimer. I really didn't get into, I had probably 2 real relationships in my life. My first ever relationship and my wife. That was it, and anything in between was just, it was just me
playing around.
Playing around. And it was definitely, it wasn't a healthy thing for me, but I guess I learned, not from them specifically, but I was learning myself in the sense of what's important to me. Because at the end of it all, the dating and doing whatever, I was still broken, I was still hurt, and I was longing to have a family because I experienced so much pain when it came to not being with my son, right? And there was a certain guilt that I always felt, even when I was dating at that age, where I'm like, I'm over here spending time with this girl. Like, I need to be with my son. Like, like everything was just, I need to be with my son. And I wouldn't tell them that, but that's what it was. It was just a certain level of guilt that I had, knowing like I need to be with my son, period. Right? And I think that's probably different in certain people's experiences compared to, say, you didn't have kids till you got with your wife, which is amazing, which is why I tell people it's important to take that route. Right? Date with a purpose. And then once you take that next step, now you can lock in for life and raise a family. I don't regret my process because I got here, but at the same time, I never boast about it either. Like, I'm not proud of it either. I don't. If somebody asks me, hey, what's it like? Or I had guys ask me, yo, what if I'm not with, I think I'm about leaving. And I'm like, nah, you need to get that right, stick it through. But as far as I will say about women and having kids and doing all of the things that, even getting property, having kids, having sex, cooking, cleaning, taking care of home, being a really righteous woman with under the wrong circumstances. That's really what it comes down to. You're not doing it wrong in the sense of this is what you're naturally gonna be. Like you have all of these abilities. You're gonna be this woman that this man wants, but you're doing it at the wrong time.
Yeah, exactly.
You're doing it at the wrong
You're
time.
doing what you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
You're just being a wife, but at the wrong time. That's all it is.
Yeah, you're being a wife without being a wife.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
And this is where I listen to women sometimes and they'll say, while they dated, and make them earn it. And it's like, make them earn what? Nah, don't make them earn nothing. Like, it's a privilege to have you by my side. I'm not trying to. You're a gift. You're literally a gift from God. So what is he earning? He needs to earn the right to call you his wife, not earn the right to get between your legs.
Exactly.
Like, that can't be your motive. That can't be your agenda, or because that's the man's agenda and you're trying to counteract it with your own perspective. Like, nah. Like, look, I get what you want. Listen, every man wants sex. Period.
Exactly.
That's a given. We're wired like that, right?
Yeah.
But it becomes a point where when does that not become the driving force to determine the relationship that you're trying to build with this person?
Sex complicates relationships.
Very true.
And for an example, my wife, she was able to save it for me.
Facts.
I didn't save it for her. So now let me tell you where that plays an issue. It's not a big deal. Like you did your thing, she did, cool. Now she doesn't have to deal with memories of having sex with other men. Through the process of me dating her and then getting to marriage, I have to deal with the process of I had other experiences.
True.
So now I have to find a way to wash those out. So that I'm just fully hers because I gave myself to other women. So now just imagine I was a virgin. She was a virgin. Everything we're learning together. And that's a beautiful thing. There's no expectations. I'm not looking at what I did. Oh, she don't do what she used to do back in the day. There is none of that.
No, I feel you.
So that's why I wanted to make sure I didn't bring any of that into our relationship. So I was blessed at the fact that she was so stern on she's saving it for marriage. And even though it got to the point where I spoke about this before, where she was ready to have sex because we was like, yo, we getting married. She was ready to have sex. And I was like, nah, we came this far. And that was before I even put a ring. Then I put a ring on it. It intensified even more.
Yeah.
It got crazy. So now I'm like, yo, we are ready for marriage because sex is not something we're craving because it's a lust thing. We love each other so much. That's an aspect of love that we can't express to each other yet. And our spirits are yearning it. Because we've grown so much that our love is not even complete yet because we didn't have sex yet.
You didn't consummate the mental physical connection.
Exactly. And it got to a point where we stopped. We after I proposed to her, we went to our parents and we was like, yo, we ready to get married, right? And us being kind of young, we listened to them. They're like, oh, y'all are young. I don't think y'all should do it yet. And then we just went back like, yeah, I guess we got to wait. But then it started getting closer. Certain things started happening. Then we was like, no. This is getting too close to call. We talked to God. We're like, yo, God, we put this marriage under you. We feel like we ready. We just getting married. And literally on that Friday, the next Friday was like, yo, we told our parents, we getting married. Ain't nothing y'all could do about it. That's it. And they was like, all right, fine. If y'all really gonna do it, let's just throw something real quick. So we had the marriage. It actually turned out to be something kind of big, but we didn't expect that. But after that, when we were fully able to freely show our love with sex, that's when it fully came around. And I understood that time. That's when it really clicked. Like, I understand why you should save it for marriage. I get it. And a lot of people don't understand that. I wish I was taught that when I was younger. I had no idea what comes with saving for marriage, because I washed out everything in my past so much that it almost became like it was my first time. And I saw the beauty in it. And that's why if you're single right now, especially as a woman, don't feel like you have to have sex. If you're in a relationship, you feel like you have to have sex, you need to leave 100% right now. If in your mind you can say to yourself, if we don't have sex, he's going to leave me, you should leave right now. Point blank, period.
So I'm glad you brought up the spiritual aspect of it, because that's the soul tie. Right?
Yeah.
This is the difference. Women are, you enter into a woman. Men are extended.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's the same type of philosophy as far as when you have sex with a person, you leave a piece of your spirit with them. That's 100% true. That's where the soul tie actually comes from.
Yeah.
This is why when you give somebody your body, you always feel a way when you see them. It's very uncomfortable.
Yeah. I had to work past that.
It's very uncomfortable. Like it's not something that you can easily maneuver through. So what happens is when you start giving yourself, both ways, men and women, right? Eventually you become empty.
Yeah.
Right? And there's no worse feeling than the feeling of emptiness, and you really can't understand why. Right? When your memories, what you were just speaking about, creating productive, positive, loving memories is actually so healthy for your mentality, because it allows you to tap into a place in your mind where it can be empowering. So I'll give you an example. Like if I'm lifting weights, this is another example. Like if I'm lifting weights and it's a heavy weight, I'll imagine my family on the bar. Right? I'll have Cam, I have Christian, I have my wife, and I'm like, listen, you gotta go up, because if I don't get it up, who's gonna handle this?
It's gonna fall.
Right? I gotta be strong enough to handle it. And the same thing goes when you're dating and waiting, because what happens is the less you do something, the less carnage, or the less repercussions. That's the best way to say it. You obtain from it. Right? The less sex you have, the less craving you have, right? But the less memories you have.
Exactly.
Right? So you start to go through the process of creating a blank slate. Right? And you want that in a healthy relationship, because what happens is, like you said, it is challenging to have those memories. Right? The thing, like I love God so much that he said, I'm gonna forget, but you gotta remember that. Right? Like I'm not saying he doesn't wash away some, like they're very vague, but very vague, but you still remember the type of energy. It's like you remember the energy of it, right? So with that, you want to preserve your energy for someone who's worth it. Like 100%. Don't look at sex like it's a means to an end, realistically, right? You're getting busy to get to a point, right?
Exactly.
But the memories of it last a lifetime. And when you're dating, and if you keep dating and you're dating multiple people, and if you keep giving yourself to multiple people, now what happens is eventually you run out. You're giving. What are you getting back? You're receiving this man's spirit, and whoever else she was with. Like that stuff, the memories are very severe in your mentality and how you go about life. Because there's times where I can remember, like even look at your childhood, right? There's some memories of your childhood that are very vivid. Very vivid. You're like, oof, I'm just never want to think about that anymore. Right? And there are times where it puts you in a good space, not just put you in a bad space. But at the end of the day, the power of your mind, you want to understand it is very delicate. Your
Yeah.
mind is extremely delicate. So as you're dating, if you keep your agenda pure and you stick to your guns and not bend according to pressure, right? It will benefit you in the long run. Not only will you avoid heartache, you'll avoid the soul tie. You'll avoid the negative memories of someone you gave yourself to.
That challenge.
In retrospect, you didn't really need to.
And that's why you have to constantly be able to work on yourself to know the different triggers, the different parts of your mind where you're like, okay, I need to work on that. Because I can 100% see anybody that I ever did anything with, and I feel nothing. It's like, okay, cool. It's really nothing there. Like my mind, like the memories are almost like cloudy. It's like, did that even happen?
Nah, I feel you.
Because now my wife has filled all my memory, all of my spirit. So it's like all I see is her. That's why now, like, I can speak to a woman and can't even tell if she's flirting with me because I'm not even giving her that energy. I can't even notice. I'm just so blind to it because I'm so focused on my wife and my family that nobody can get in this sphere. There is no door for you to come in. You have no way in. There's no way in.
I agree. I had somebody ask me about, do I get tempted? Right? Like, he was like, yo, you know what I mean? Do you get tempted or whatever the case may be? And I'm like, look, when I was younger, temptation was real. When I became a man, the temptation subsided.
Yes, sir.
Because I practiced good habits.
Yes.
And I was prepared for the woman that I'm with now. So it becomes a thing where it's like, I don't ever want to downplay this aspect of dating and waiting. It's real. It's real, but it's 100% a mentality.
Yeah, definitely.
100%. It's not physical, because realistically, sex starts in the mind before it even reaches the groins, right? Let's be honest. It starts in the mind, the fantasies, the like, I want this type of, the lust. So if your mind is disciplined, I'm not saying that you're not going to be tempted. But you learn how to maneuver around it.
Exactly.
You learn what works for you. Right? That's important. That's very important, especially if you're trying to take it to the next level. And I think it's sad because I do see a lot of women, and good quality women, who deserve everything that we give our wives, realistically, right? They deserve that. But the man is so foolish, and he's such a kid. And he's so oblivious to reality that it's far and few that you'll see a man step up to the plate willingly without the pressure of a woman. And I think women just need to consider what do you want realistically, right?
Ultimately,
Are you okay with a man proposing to you after you put an ultimatum on him? You know what I mean? Are you
like
okay
either
with
you
that?
do this or you're not? Because now it's like you're forcing it. So is it real?
Yeah, exactly. Is it a real thing? Because now you're like, dang, I put this ultimatum on him. We got a kid. We're invested all these years, blah, blah, blah. And it's more so at this point, you're just scared to leave, and you're scared to be embarrassed.
And then have to start over, go through the whole process.
Which is understandable. But at the end of the day, you walk out with your dignity. And this is one thing that I learned personally, that men only really change when there's a consequence involved. It's rare that you'll see a man change without a real consequence. So I'll just give an example. If a man cheats and you stay, I'm not saying that all men are going to do this, but I believe he's going to cheat again.
It's possible. It's very more than likely.
I believe he's going to cheat again.
More than likely.
Because the consequence for the violation didn't match.
Wasn't severe enough.
That's it. Right?
Yeah.
It was almost like, it's almost like if I punch you in the face and you eat the first punch, and I'm like, oh, you can handle that. I'm gonna give you another one, right?
Yeah.
To the point you become the man's punching bag through his decisions. And through his decisions, he's tearing you down. And majority of the time, they won't admit it, but it's a internal warfare that you'll have where now you're just in the relationship faking it.
Yeah.
Right? Oh, we here for our kids. Oh, we're building this.
That's where those like toxic relationships
happen. Very toxic. And I actually just said this to my friends. I said, I want all my friends to be in a happy marriage.
Yeah.
Healthy marriage.
Yeah.
Not a forceful, not a unhealthy, disgrace of what marriage is supposed to be. And this dating, it plays such a significant role in that process of setting the foundation of who you are, if that's the best way to put it, right?
Yeah.
It's rough. It's rough.
It is. Because I'd rather you, like we've said it before, like, you my man, you with a girl from out, bro, I'd rather you leave if you're not going to be happy with her and find somebody else you're going to be happy with if that's what it is, the reason why you won't marry her. Don't stay because you've been together so long.
Yeah, that's sad.
You know what I'm saying? I think that's why you should be trying to get married earlier. Because now it's not because we've been together. It's generally because I love you and I want to commit myself to you. Not because, well, we've been together this long.
I'm gonna give her what she wants.
Yeah, I might as well. Because love it's not about me. It's about, if I truly love you, I want to make you happy and do whatever I can for you. If we're dating and I truly love you and your goal is marriage and I'm not ready for that, my job is to make sure that I'm working towards that. I have to be,
or walk away.
Yeah, true. Yeah, walk away. If you really love them, it's like, I can't give you that. If you know, like, I'm not going to be the husband that you need or you want, I need to leave.
Got to get up out of here.
Yeah.
And women have to have that same approach, whereas if this is not cutting it, I got to go.
Exactly.
It hurts, but I got to go. I can't. Regardless if we have kids, I got to go. Regardless if we have investments, I got to go. I'm not going to lower my standards to a point where I don't even recognize myself anymore. Right? I came into this relationship, dating, right, with a perspective of myself. I see so many women adopt the philosophies of men. And men do it because and they say it like, oh, we gotta, like, men do it so we can do it. And it's like, nah, that's not even right. It's wrong that they doing it. Why lower your standards and and change your agenda according to something that's wrong? Right. And it's sad to see it. It's really,
it is
it's really a sad, like, there's nothing worse than than the Instagram post. We've been together 11 years. She's been holding it down. And we girlfriend and boyfriend.
Is that not enough?
I mean, at this point,
what does it take? That's my thing. What else does it take? You imagine your daughter with a dude over 10 years, and you know your daughter wants to be married, and you look at that like, yo, why you?
It's different, yo. It's different, and I think I think the process of dating and waiting, I think women specifically, because men are very ego-driven creatures, right? And they don't have enough men around to speak the truth to them.
That's another problem. That's why we have to focus on men so much, because it goes back to that.
Men, like, they surround themselves with people who are like-minded and do the same things as them, right? And believe me, you'll get a lot stronger swimming up current than going with the current.
Oh yeah,
right. You know, if you don't understand that concept, it just basically means that the power that you obtain is not from following; it's from creating your own path.
Yeah.
If a current is going this way and it's wrong, you're supposed to go the opposite way. And you'll start to see yourself separate from the wannabes. And if you realize too, eagles always fly alone.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's far and few.
I just seen the eagle by itself in the back. I'm like, yo, that's crazy. Like, they really just dolo.
Yeah, the fact that you've seen an eagle in your backyard bothers me. I'm not gonna get into that. Eagles fly alone in North Carolina, especially in Enoch's backyard, right? But but no, I like, it's just one of those kind of things where men are cowards in their approach to be an individual and say, yo, this is wrong, right? This is wrong. What we doing to these women are wrong. That's wrong. That action is wrong. Like, I'm not saying I'm perfect, but I learned, right?
Yeah.
So do I agree with impregnating a woman and then leaving?
Yeah.
No, I don't. I made that mistake. I learned from that mistake.
Yeah.
Right? But you see, I didn't make it again. I watch guys make the same stupid mistakes over and over again. And it's one of those kind of things where it's sad because not only is the foundations cracked, a woman can't even find a good man to date with the agenda of I'm trying to build a future.
Yeah.
Like, I just want your drawers. And it's like, if men isn't gonna hold themselves to that standard and improve the mental capacity to say, hey, this is not what I want for my life, then women, it's gonna be up to you guys. It's really, I mean, and it's sad to say it like that, but it really is. It's really up to you guys to own up and say, listen, I'm not giving it up. It's not that type of party.
Yeah.
Right?
If you need to leave, go ahead, leave.
Go ahead, I'm gonna holler at you. I'm gonna holler at you. We good here. Like, it's cool. And I commend, let me tell you, I respect my mother-in-law so much for what she's been through and how she raised my wife. Right? Because she's been through a divorce, right?
Same thing with my wife,
And she didn't settle just to have a man. Right? And I know it was hard for her. But when I met my wife and then I met her mom, I was like,
get it. Yeah.
I get it. I get it. I got a lot of admiration and respect for women who do that. Don't feel like you're forced to settle for anything.
Exactly.
Right? And I hope, I don't we, like I said, we gave the
disclaimer.
we gave the disclaimer. This wasn't to offend anybody, but when is enough enough? When is enough enough?
Yeah, for real.
When is enough enough? And we really have to consider the standards that we're living by. Yeah. Especially when it comes to dating.
Yeah. Men, right? I feel like men have single-handedly taken away that fairy tale for little girls. Because they grow up, like, remember, like, the dolls, married. We took away that fairy tale life that they saw.
Yeah, and said it can't be done.
Facts. Yeah,
no facts. And then make it seem like it can't be done. Like, nah, it can be done.
Yeah.
It's just, it's gonna take some real men to raise some real men.
Exactly.
Right? That's what it's gonna take. It takes some real men to raise a real man. And truth of the matter is this: I could look at your child, and I could smell it. Like, if certain kids, they got their parents straight. You'd be like, and it really comes out in them teenage years, boy. I tell you, it comes out very potently and honestly. But I think this dating is tricky.
Yeah.
But
if you can't have that conversation with whoever you're dating with, like, where y'all trying to go? If you're looking for marriage, let it be known. Like, I'm looking for marriage.
And have
that conversation now.
Yeah, have it now regardless of the time frame.
Yeah.
And try this. If they don't give an answer that is up to your standards, say I'm leaving, and leave.
Yeah.
No, really leave. Don't
be afraid.
Don't gas it. Leave. I'm out of here. All right, listen, no harm, no foul, no beef, no malice.
Yeah. Like, and I'm starting to realize, now that I'm thinking about it, people always talk about that divorce rate. It's not because of marriage. It's because how people got married. Think of all the relationships. It's either you gave somebody a ultimatum, or it just started off on a bad foundation, or I've been with you long enough. It ain't because marriage itself. It's how you got married.
Yeah, marriage is pure and perfect.
Exactly.
It's the people that corrupt it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So before you even take that step,
yeah,
make sure you got the dating and waiting mentality.
Yeah.
Really consider all your options in the sense of what you're willing to accept and what you're not. Right? And don't bend from that. Don't be afraid to hold true to that. There's nothing wrong with having standards.
Nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with that. There's really nothing wrong with that. And I feel like women just, they bend on their standards. And I wish you guys had enough self-confidence to say, I don't have to adjust according to the man's needs. I don't have to override my agenda with his agenda, because at the end of the day, right, if you don't put those boundaries in place, the man is going to violate.
Oh, yeah, 100%. 100%.
And not saying it's right. It's not right.
It's not right.
Like, guys, it's not right. But
it's not.
But women, if y'all do that,
it's
a game changer.
Yeah.
It's a game changer, man.
You still got hope, women. It ain't over for you. If you're in that long relationship, you still have the power to handle.
It's you have hope outside of that relationship.
Exactly.
Right? If you 5+ years in, 10+ years in, leave. Like, you don't gotta front it. You don't gotta act like you happy. Listen. Like, we have some standards, hold true to them, and don't bend.
Facts. Simple as that.
This was a
I could digress now.
Digress. That was a rough one, but I ain't gonna hold you. But listen.
Yeah, man. Because I don't want to hurt feelings, but sometimes you gotta hurt feelings to take that next step. Man.
Well, honestly, it don't hurt feelings if you live in the right way, anyways.
That's true. That's true. That's what I'm saying.
Let it fly if it don't apply.
Yeah,
that's a fact. You know, doesn't matter. Let it fly if it doesn't apply. But if this is applying to you, take heed to what we're saying. Because listen, we men telling you this.
Exactly.
Married men.
Think about that. We're men telling you this. Don't have sex. We're men telling you females don't have sex with your man.
Yeah. Wait
about that.
Don't be a fake wife. There you go. Don't be a fake wife. Don't be a fake wife.
Wait.
Yeah. All right. So listen, man, this is a great episode, though. I hope you guys learned something from it. We really, this meant a lot to us. This one,
definitely,
specifically, because we really want to see families grow. Our mission is to empower men, but ultimately, we're trying to build communities, families, happy marriages, and prosperous lifestyles. You know what I mean? That's the goal. So, you got anything to leave for the people?
Even within dating, you're gonna go through ups and downs. But no matter who you with, no matter the situation, you keep God before anything.
Hey, listen.
You gotta leave.
Listen, we'll put it like this. Women, reach for perfection. Expect perfection from your man. So even if he falls short, he's still excellent. And y'all be excellent together. That's a
fact.
Hey, other than that, we'll see y'all next week. We talking about marriage, you dig? Holla at y'all later.
Yep.